Welcome everyone. We will be talking about total quality management, the process of it, of achieving a excellent quality product, excellent quality services. So essentially total quality management process is the topic of discussions for today's presentation. Quality control. We're talking about industrializations. Whenever we speak about industrializations, remember mass production is the fundamental thing around it. So we need to keep a proper inspection, proper control, proper monitoring on whatever effects that comes around it. Herein, in 1924, Shewhart stated the major principles of quality control in terms of statistical procedures. So SPC, statistical process control, is widely regarded as the standard for ensuring good quality product per million defects as you go around it. So quality assurances, George Edwards is the inventor of the terms. Assuring quality is what quality assurance is all about it. Every time you go to a place probably to enjoy the services, you find the similar services, or should I say the same services, irrespective of which all employees are delivering it. They are pinpointing the standards, and probably nothing has been compromised. You cannot find any changes, any nuances, any differences from the services that have been uh, given to you, or probably been rendered towards you sometime back, and the services that has been rendered as of today and sometime later also will be actually the same identical one. Even this can be easily extended to the product line. So yes, the product are very standardized. So assuring quality, assuring standardizations, policies, divisions of responsibility is what we are all looking forward to for quality assurances. Quality improvement is all about utilizing statistical process control, as the case might be, improvising processes, reducing waste, individual improvement projects, as the case might be, and monitoring variation. Whatever variation that comes around, we need to look into it. So yes, utilization of statistical process control, improving processes every time, every possible time, every month, every week, every quarter. And I'm not talking about rampant changes, rampant improvement, incremental improvement, a marginal improvement, probably in terms of quality or probably in terms of reducing waste. So that is what we are looking into is as an individual improvement program and the variations to be monitored thereof. Quality management is about a plan that is to be is pervasive across the organization, across the every function that the organization bestowed upon, or every department, or every statistical unit that you're talking about it, or strategic business unit, as the case might be. So yes, we are talking about internal motivations. We want to have a preventive practices time and again, preventive maintenances time and again. We need to keep it as a zero accident zone, absolutely, for the premises of the plant, machinery, and the offices thereabout. So total quality management, all aspect of the organization adopting continuous improvement, changes of organization cultures, shift from internal measures to efficiencies towards the assessment and improvement of values of the customers, as the case might be. This needs to be understood absolutely at the basic level that goes around here. Stages of total quality management. Look at what we are looking here. We are talking about quality control in terms of variations. Can we monitor them? Now that can only be happening once we start monitoring any variations thereby. Once the variations have been eliminated, that means quality has been assured or standard has been set. Now, if standards are set, quality been assured, can we improve upon it? Can we have a better product? Can we do anything that can be improvisations? So that is what we are looking at, improved quality, or should I say the process have been oriented. Next is the quality management is internally motivated as on when on basis. Then the last ultimate culmination would be your total quality management, a complete overall in the organization culture, as the case might be. So yes, quality control may lead to quality assurance, which might further lead to improvement in quality. Remember, once quality has been improved, we need to maintain it and manage quality thereby, because once that has been set, we are talking about total quality management per se. So managing total quality management, what do the manager needs to know. Number one has to be the system thinking process. Number two would be understanding variations if any statistical process control tool can be administered. Organizational psychology as far as whether we are suffering from burnt out syndrome, or are we actually able to profess the good as on when on basis is thereby. We are talking about system thinking. We are talking about understanding variation and organization psychology. The three pillars of effective management. What are they? System thinking, knowing throughout the process of what we are doing around it, how communication has been evolved, what are the patterns, what are the relationship that needs to be good. And believe me, every organization is unique and it cannot be same or similar to the another organization. We need to understand the variation thereby as far as the quality of product or let's say the quality of services are concerned. And last but not the least would be the organizational psychology, whether people are learning enough, people have been trained enough, people have been groomed enough, and how well can they perform, are they working at their optimum level. The system theory is basically given in this particular process where you see the customers and supplier at the rampant other end. The supplier would be supplying you the raw materials, will be supplying you the parts of the product, probably which you might get assimilated or you might get manufacturing in the process around it before it has been landed or shipped to the customer. But every time there is the shipment to the customer might come up with a feedback which needs to be shared both internally and externally. Externally might be your vendors that we are talking about it. This encompasses the system theory. Let us understand the variation thereby. So, special cause variation, probably the availability of raw materials might change. Common cause variation, what are the interpretation errors, process capability, example of probability or coin flipping as the case might be. The probability of something might go wrong is very, very minuscule, but nevertheless, it still exists out there. And that is what understanding variation is all about. We should understand why and try to answer why is total quality management so pertinent, because it is for the benefit of every one of us. When I say every one of us, it is all the stakeholders that I believe. So it is not only the vendors, not only the end customer, but also the employees, but also the shareholders, but also the government. You name it and we have it, be it the internal stakeholders or the external stakeholders. It benefits across the society, across the country, across the globe. That is the wonderful effect of a total quality management. Let us explore the component thereof. Number one is price reduction. Number things that needs to be understood. If we can produce, serve the same amount of service, the same amount of product at a lower cost, don't you think it is going to enthrall the customers? Probably yes. Don't you think it is going to increase the profitability? Probably yes. So yes, price reduction is one of those components. Then the major part is always the customer orientation, keeping the customer in the center, in the vicinity, in the focus about what the customer's demand is all about. It. If we can fulfill it, nothing can go wrong with it. Therein, we need to understand if we need to reduce prices, if we need to enthrall customers, we need to have an involvement of every stakeholder. So involvement of everyone is required, and these three things can goes incrementally done over a period of time, on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, and continued quality improvement should be the culture of the organization. This can only be done if there is a strong leadership at the helm of the company. So the component of total quality management is price reduction, customer satisfaction, involvement of everyone, continuous quality improvement, and leadership thereby. Let us look at the components of quality total quality management by far, and how do we go across it. We are talking about the price reduction. Can cost be an essential element of total quality management? Phil Crosby, I suppose, again one of those quality gurus, says yes, cost is an integral part of a total quality management. No wonder quality is free. Quality is the right of the customer. That is what we are looking forward to. We need to note it down. Who determines quality? Is it the management? Is it the production? Is it the engineer? Is it the customer? Yes, the answer, you got it right. The customer does not perceive you are offering quality service, then you are not, probably not. The customer think that the quality of the product or quality of the service is not the value for the money, then you are not. It is the end customer who will say whether they are thrilled or whether they are disappointed. The benchmark remains the customers around it. Continuous improvement is the only option that a company can always evolve to stay as competitive as possible, improve each and every day. Do not focus on problem, focus on improvement. If you're not a part of the solution, probably then you should identify yourself as a part of the problem. Yes, we should note that the only way to evolve is to reincarnate the product, reincarnate the process, and probably evolve a culture of continuous improvement over a period of time. Continuous improvement are not interested in excuses, they are interested in result. As the case might be proactive, because if you don't, someone else will be. If you are not there servicing the customer, somebody else is going to service this customer's requirement, and in the process your company is going to lose the race and probably will be unviable in due course of time. So Ishikawa says that organization which does not make change in every 6 months is probably a dead organization. If not now, probably in due courses of time, because we have seen a plentiful example. Let us talk of BlackBerry. Let us talk of IBM Computer. These were stalwarts in their own field. Let us talk of Kodak camera. These were all stalwart. But look what has happened. Are centuries into their existence, they have not been able to survive. They have not been able to be sustainable because they were not evolving themselves. They hung on to their old glories. As Ishikawa says, that every 6 months you need to make a change and come with a quality product and improved product. Kaizen is obviously a term, the Japanese synonym for central quality instruments, or CQ, or continuous quality improvement, or CQI. What are we looking into it? It's a Kaizen philosophy, the Japanese way of saying continuous quality improvement. The famous Hadith, he was destroyed whose past was not better than his yesterday. Absolutely said. Absolutely, if you cannot evolve as a person, if you cannot be a better version of yourself, probably you are going down the drain. And as a person, if you cannot be a better version, think about your organization. The organization has to strive in a very dynamic, very competitive, and a very cutthroat environment altogether. So, yes, we need to upgrade ourselves. Yes, we need to have this philosophy of continuous quality improvement, because that will only make us survive this ruthless world of corporate politics, probably the competition that we are enthralled with or we are interested to fight with. With these words, let me sign off and say thank you to all of you who have seen, heard these videos till the very last end. Thank you very much.